The following is a presentation of 912 Sports. Welcome to On Air with 912 Sports, your number one source for high school sports. With Sean Smoke and Kevin Price. On Air with 912 Sports is brought to you by Coastal Pines Technical College. Go Coastal. Prime South Bank. Find your prime. Robbie Robertson Ford, because Fords are cheaper in the swamp. Gibson Animal Clinic, practical solutions with limited fees. Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery, the region's best orthopedic care. And Kim Smoke, licensed realtor with eXp Realty.
It makes sense Prime South Bank would have a great mobile app. Nobody is as mobile as our customers. For a century, they've chased dreams, followed their hearts, took the road less taken, made a new path, taken leaps of faith. At Prime South, offering the latest digital banking, secure pay apps, and new online lending is part of a mobile tradition that goes way back. Life is mobile. So is Prime South. Find your Prime. Member FDIC.
Play it loud and rev it up. Robbie Robertson's got trucks built for tough.
Make your way to Robbie Robertson Ford in Waycross, where the deals are bigger than ever. Looking for a stylish midsize car, a spacious SUV, or a truck that performs at work and play? Robbie Robertson wants your vehicle and is paying top dollar. Now is the time to buy. Fords are cheaper in the swamp.
Welcome, sports fans, and thanks for watching On Air with 912 Sports. I'm Sean Smoke, publisher of 912 Sports, and we've got a great show for you tonight. The city championships going on over on the coast between the Brunswick High Pirates and the Glen Academy Red Terrors. Kevin Price will be along with a report and give you the update through the first two games with the big all-important Game 3 coming up this Friday. Also, I had a chance to talk to Coach Paul Glass, head coach of the Jeff Davis Yellow Jackets. They've had an up-and-down season, losing their first 7, but then ripping off 12 wins in a row. So we'll have a chance to talk to Coach Paul Glass about their season. So stick around. We've got a great show for you. You're watching On Air with 912 Sports.
Gibson Animal Clinic is ready to help with your animals. From cats to dogs to horses, we treat them all. Call on us for grooming, bathing, boarding, and more serious things like surgery, dentistry, spay, neuter, immunizations, heartworm prevention, flea control, complete lab testing, radiology, preventive health care. Call us at 285-7678. Open Saturdays for your convenience. Gibson Animal Clinic. Practical solutions with reasonable fees. Russell J. Gibson, DVM.
Gibson Animal Clinic, 108 Riverside Drive, Waycross.
Hablamos español en nuestra clínica.
At Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery, you don't have to be an athlete to get the region's best orthopedic care. Our board-certified orthopedic surgeons and physicians treat injuries and conditions that affect just about any joint or bone in your body. Plus, we're backed by the support of Southeast Georgia Health System. From fracture repair to joint replacement, Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery will get you moving again. Call 1-855-ASK-SGHS. That's 1-855-275-7447 or visit sghs.org/summit.
Well, welcome, sports fans, and thanks for watching On Air with 912 Sports. I'm Sean Smoke, publisher of 912 Sports, and we're joined here by the head coach of the Jeff Davis Yellow Jackets, Coach Paul Glass. Coach, how you doing today?
Good. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Doing great, buddy. Appreciate you being on the show here, Coach. Jeff Davis has had I guess we'll call it a tale of two seasons right now, Coach. You guys jumped into a very, very tough non-region schedule. Went 0-7, Coach. I know that's hard for people to believe. Jeff Davis coming off all the state titles you guys have had in the past. 0-7, but then all of a sudden you rip off 12 in a row. You're sitting there at 12-7, undefeated in region play in a very tough region, I might add. And have beat some really, really good teams in that. Let's just go ahead and talk about it. I mean, you guys beat the the defending champ in 7A, Lowndes County, and in that stretch of 12 games. So, talk a little bit about the Jekyll and Hyde season there for the Yellow Jackets.
Well, I mean, we knew when we bit off this schedule that we might have outkicked our coverage a little bit. We wanted to have a challenging non-region schedule, and it obviously was. We feel like that you play good teams and it prepares you for your region, for the grind of the region, and it prepares you. If you can become a playoff team, it'll prepare you for the playoffs. You won't be shocked when you see playoff pitching for the first time because you've seen it with some of the non-region teams you play. But, we went into this schedule this year because we felt like we had a chance to be competitive. And as it turns out, the non-region teams that we played, oh man, we're just preseason. They just topped the charts in almost every class, and, we started out with Lowndes, and to be perfectly honest, we really didn't know what we were getting into. Well, we knew what we were getting into because Lowndes is a defending state 7A, champions, and they're eat up with everybody in their starting lineup is a college player. So we wanted to go down there and just look, let's just prove that we can play with these guys. And yeah, we're going to try to win. We're never going to try to play a game and not try to win, but let's just go down and prove we can be on the field with these guys. Let's just don't get run out of the ballpark. And we played pretty good. I thought we played okay. We hung in there. We had a chance. We were a run down in the 6th inning, and they had a big inning, and, but we felt okay after leaving there. And then, of course, Applin has got big arms that we saw, and we lost a 1-0 game to them. Then we go to Wayne County, and we lose a 2-1 game to Wayne County. Then we lose another 2-1 game to Thomas County Central. And and once that started happening, and then the next weekend we go to Harlem, and Harlem is, somebody said, well, they lost their best player from last year's team. I don't know. I'd argue they're better this year than they were last year. But, next thing you know, we're sitting here looking at 0-7, and a lot of people are like, well, y'all are playing good teams. And now we're kind of trying to guard against the moral victory. You play in good teams, but you don't play good teams to get close. You play good teams to try to beat them. And, I was really worried at that time about not so much the 0-7, but us being content with, well, we played them close, and we're kind of feeling good about that. I want us to understand, okay, we played okay, and this team is where they're at. But the object of the whole object is to win the game now. It's about winning the game. So, we just kept hammering to our guys about these non-region games are there to prepare you for the region, and the region gives you the opportunity to get to the state, and that's what it's all about. And we tried to hammer the big picture to these guys, and to their credit, we have 9 seniors, and they understood. And when we played our first region game, it was like opening day, as far as our energy level, and they really understand the big picture. And the 0-7. Looking back on it to where we're standing to this point probably helped us. And you don't like getting helped that way because it's rough now. I mean, 0-7 felt like 0-15, but it was, you see playoff pitching every single game, every ball that you hit that's kind of that in-betweener, that play gets made. You don't get freebies. They don't walk you. They don't catch the balls, don't get by catchers. They don't make errors. I mean, you have to earn everything you get against teams like that. And when you get pushed to that brink every single game, then you have to elevate your game or you either fade away. And I think we elevated a little bit, but we still got some ways we got to go, and we still got some really good teams ahead of us too. So.
Right. Well, like you said, a lot of close games in those 7 losses there. I don't forget 3 or 4 one-run games at least. And when you started the season, Coach, you thought you were going to have 2 big-time D1 pitchers, and you wound up with one big-time D1 pitcher and one D1 player who's not, able to pitch right now, and that's Duke Stone. By the way, Duke Stone's on the cover of our latest issue of 912 Sports. He's our MVP, deservedly so. But Duke's not able to help you on the mound this year, and I think when you built that schedule, you probably thought he was going to be a part of that rotation.
Well, there's no question. And with Duke and Alex, both Duke's going to Mississippi State, Alex going to Georgia Southern, then you most of the time I would think you set your schedule based on what kind of team you think you're going to have and what kind of pitching you're going to have. And we felt like we could be pretty deep on the mound. And so we were okay with biting off that schedule. And then we get the news. We were in Wayne County playing a summer league game, and I had a message on my phone from Duke, and it said, "Hey, can you give me a call?" And that just didn't feel right. Something didn't feel right about that. And he gave us the news that he had a partial tear and that he was going to have surgery. And that was going to be, he had the surgery in late June. So we all start looking at the timelines and what are the chances and all that. But after he told us that, once we got over the shock of the fact that he's not going to, and I looked and I said, look at this schedule. We're getting ready to play. But, I will say this, the other guys, of course, Alex has been as advertised, and he is a frontline pitcher. But the guys that were going to have to try to fill in Duke's innings that he pitched last year, that he was not going to pitch this year, all of a sudden they were thrust to the front of the line, and you're not going to get to stick your big toe in the water now. You're going to have to do a cannonball in the deep end right out of the gates right here. And these guys did. I mean, Colby Beach threw well. Carter Mullis threw well. Andrew White's thrown well. Trayton Webster's thrown well. And these guys were guys that we knew they were going to pitch a little bit, but we didn't know how much. And then all of a sudden they're going to be pitching a lot, and they're going to be pitching in big innings against really good teams. And that was a little bit concerning. But I'll tell you this about Duke. Man, you talk about the ultimate teammate. I mean, and he felt really bad about what happened. And, it is what it is. And we were hoping that he could get back to where he could be in a relief type of role. And he had another he had some soreness during his rehab. And rehab is never going to be exactly by the book. It's like Coach Williams, our trainer. He said there's going to be ups and downs. And he started out really good and was progressing. And then all of a sudden he had some soreness in his arm. It really wasn't where the surgery was. It was just, and so we just hey, this guy's got a huge upside. He's got a big future. Let's don't do anything to run the risk. We're accepting the fact that he's probably not going to pitch a whole lot for us. So he took off about 3 weeks, I think, during his rehab just to make sure. So that kind of knocked him out as far as getting a chance to maybe pitch late in the season. But he's been a great teammate. He got to where when he got cleared to play first base, he started playing first. He's been DHing the whole year, and he's been as good as he could get. We really love to see him be able to step on that mound. But we're not going to put him in a spot where it's going to put pressure on him to feel like he needs to be out there. And just do your rehab and help us as much as you can. And he's doing a really good job of that.
Right. Well, it speaks to how good a baseball player he is, Coach, because once Georgia decided they were going to rescind his offer, the SEC schools just lined up, like cordwood to make offers to him, and he wound up, choosing to go to Mississippi State. So, that tells you what kind of ball player he is.
Well, and when they had the coaching change at Georgia and that kind of stuff happens, and he got to see a little bit of the business side of college baseball, the coach is going to bring his people in and he's going to start recruiting his guys. And they told Duke that they were going to, they were just going to move on or whatever. And Duke, when he decommitted from Georgia, you're correct. He was offered by South Carolina, Auburn, Mercer, Jacksonville State, Georgia Tech, and Mississippi State came calling, and he went over there for a visit. And obviously Mississippi State's got a huge tradition in baseball. Oh man. Yeah. And he was blown away, and he made a good showing over there, and those guys made him a really good offer, and it was really good. I was really worried because how a high school guy is, and he's on top of the world one day and the next day he got those opportunities. And I'm from Alabama, so I'm not a Georgia fan. I'll tell you that. I'm not a Mississippi State fan either, but I am now, and I'm happy that Duke got a chance to go to a good program. And I told him, I said, you may in the long run look back and think this might be something that you might have improved your situation. You never
Exactly. Stick around, sports fans. We'll be right back after these messages. You're watching On Air with 912 Sports.
Did you know that you can get a head start on your college career and save money at the same time through dual enrollment at Coastal Pines Technical College? Dual enrollment is open to high school juniors and seniors, tuition free. Talk to your high school counselor or visit coastalpines.edu for more information. Coastal Pines Technical College, an equal opportunity institution. Go Coastal.
Coach, you've been, getting great performance on the mound, but you also been getting great performance at the plate. Who's some of the guys you've been relying on for those RBIs and those run producers?
Well, I will say Duke Stone. I mean, last year as a hitter, he didn't hit to his expectations, but this year he's hitting in the 3-hole. He's hit 3 or 4 home runs. He's at the top as far as hits and average and RBIs. Alex Mason is right there with it. Him and Alex are kind of going back in the power spots. Alex is hitting in the 4-hole and hitting balls good, hitting doubles, driving in runs. Our leadoff hitter, Ethan Picanzo, he was a down in the lineup hitter last year, but he got out and he got hot and got swinging a really good bat. And we moved him to the top, and he's never come off. He's been a really good leadoff hitter. He's got some sneaky power. And then seniors all the way down. He's a senior, and then Hayden Turner is in the 2-hole. Has got some little bit of power, and he's kind of been a little bit up and down, but his down was not that to him. His credit as a senior, his down was not down very long. He was down a little bit, and then he was able to battle back, and he's been through the battles and through the wars and all that. So. And then all the way down, Carter Mullis is starting to swing a better bat. He started off a little bit slow. But, I mean, heck, everybody started off a little bit slow, and we're seeing these kind of pitchers we're seeing out of the gates, And that was another thing is making sure our confidence they didn't start doubting themselves as what kind of team we felt like we could have because they did start out struggling. Carter he struggled pretty bad out of the gates, but he's mentally very tough. He's been a fixture in our program for the last 4 years, and he's starting to come on a little bit. And we got a couple of younger guys. Jude Worthington hitting down in the lineup is starting to swing it a little bit better. Jackson Sayer is too. Eli Saunders, Camden Messiah. I mean, Trayton Webster is swinging a pretty good bat in center field. So we got some guys that are swinging better than they were. They're not swinging probably as good as they would like to be, but compared to our first seven games or so, I mean, they're swinging a lot better.
Yeah. Well, Coach, like I said, going on that 12-0 run, sitting there undefeated in the region, look to make a deep run in the state playoffs again there in AA. But you guys have not been without some adversity this year. Had a player get hurt in the batting cages, Carter Galbraith. And, you guys have got a big fundraiser coming up for him. So talk a little bit about that and then what you guys are doing to kind of raise money for Carter.
Yeah, Carter, he's a sophomore in our program. He's one of our catchers. He's got a chance to be a really good player for us, really good football player for Coach Helton already. And we've talked a lot over the years. I mean, over this year about how many strides Carter has made in baseball. And he got hurt in the cages. He got hit by a ball, and we didn't think it was going to be. We didn't think it was going to be too bad. And then that night he started having some difficulties, and they took him to the emergency room, and one thing led to the next, and they flew him to Savannah, and he had a head injury, and it just kind of sideswiped us all. We really just floored by everything. and he's now in. They flew him to Savannah, and he was in Savannah for about a week, and he's doing a lot better now, doing a lot better. And he is now at Shepherd's in Atlanta, and they are rehabbing him. And every report we're getting every day is getting better and better, and they're doing a good job up there. And it's like I told, some of his people that there's probably not a better place on earth than where he's at in Atlanta. Right. So it was a shot to us. I mean, we ended up canceling our non-region games with Bleckley County. This was the day after he was flown to Savannah, and everybody was just kind of in a state of shock. We didn't really know what to do and how to act. We'd never really been in these waters before, and our first thoughts are with him and then with his family, and how can we help them? Right. So as things started to progress, we as a community, not just as a baseball program, but as a community, what are some things we can do to help Carter and his family? And being in the baseball world, knowing how big travel baseball is, Coach Helton, Coach Metz, myself, and some others, we talked about putting on a tournament here in Hazelhurst. So on May the 11th, is on the Mother's Day weekend. This is going to be probably the Friday and Saturday before Mother's Day on Sunday. We're going to try to play games on Friday and Saturday, and we are open in pretty much every age group from 8U all the way up to 14U. We've already got 8 teams in the 8U division and another team looking to get in, and we may have to cut that off at 8 teams. I don't know. Our 14U division is filling up fast, which they all are filling up really fast, and we're going to push out some more information on that as far as how many teams are in each age group and all that. And every dime that we make from this tournament on May the 11th will go to Carter and his family. We're going to have some things going on here in town leading up to that. There's a local Christmas tree farm. It's kind of a little place for little kids that we're trying to put something together for them. Treetop Christmas tree farm that we're going to put together, and we're going to have a benefit out there, and all those proceeds will go to Carter. This coming Friday night, we will have our doubleheader with Worth County, and we're going to have Carter Galbraith night. So every penny that we raise in the concession stand that night will go to Carter and his family. And there's some other things that are being talked about kind of helping. And that's I was telling somebody the other day, some people get lured to the big towns and the big cities and the big schools and all that. And those things have their benefits. But I'm going to tell you, being in a town like Hazelhurst and a county like Jeff Davis, this is why I like being in a town like this, is because when something happens, everybody just seems like they drop everything what they're doing right then, and let's just go help as much as we can help. And that's what's happening right here. And it's something that we feel really motivated to do, not just us, Coach Helton and the football program, and the whole school system and the whole county is really rallying behind Carter and his journey that he's on right now, and pulling hard for him. And nothing would make us feel any better than to see him put on a football helmet and a baseball helmet again in the near future. So we're all pulling for him and trying to help any way we can.
Exactly. And Coach, if other teams want to get involved, if these teams want to sign up for this tournament on that Mother's Day weekend, what's the best way to get in touch with you guys?
Best way is to get in touch with me. They can find me through email. My email is the Jeff Davis School email, paul.glass@jeffdavis.k12.ga.us. They can email lance.helton or roger.metz, or they can call me if I can give out my cell phone number, 912-240-0218, and they can send me a text. They can call me, and we'll plug them in. And as of right now, we're going to use the Hazelhurst site, but we do have on standby 2 other sites. Appleton County has their rec department, and Mike Lynn down there has stepped in and said if we have enough teams that they need to spill over, they're more than welcome to use Appleton County's rec department. It's not going to charge us anything to use that. Scott Strickland over in Vidalia has said the same thing over there. And, again, we're talking about small towns and guys pulling together and things they can do to help. And they're reaching out to help. And we're hoping this tournament could be, just enormous and max out every age group and really playing for a good cause and be some really good teams here on the field too.
Exactly. Well, Southeast Georgia, I know, is behind Carter, behind the whole Jeff Davis Nation over there. We'll do everything we can on 912's part. If y'all want to, just send us an email. Or you call us, shoot us a text on Facebook or a message on Facebook. We'll get you in touch with the right people to get you a part of this. So, but Coach, appreciate you guys being a part of it. I know I speak for everyone in the 912. We'll continue to pray for Carter, and if there's anything else that we can do for you guys, please let us know.
Thank you, Sean. We really appreciate you guys.
All right, that's Coach Jeff, the coach for Jeff Davis, Coach Paul Glass. As those guys are continuing on their path of undefeated in region play and getting ready for the 2A state playoffs. But we'll be right back on 912 Sports.
At Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery, you don't have to be an athlete to get the region's best orthopedic care. Our board-certified orthopedic surgeons and physicians treat injuries and conditions that affect just about any joint or bone in your body. Plus, we're backed by the support of Southeast Georgia Health System. From fracture repair to joint replacement, Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery will get you moving again. Call 1-855-ASK-SGHS. That's 1-855-275-7447 or visit sghs.org/summit.
It makes sense Prime South Bank would have a great mobile app. Nobody is as mobile as our customers. For a century, they've chased dreams, followed their hearts, took the road less taken, made a new path, taken leaps of faith. At Prime South, offering the latest digital banking, secure pay apps, and new online lending is part of a mobile tradition that goes way back. Life is mobile. So is Prime South. Find your Prime. Member FDIC.
Play it loud and rev it up. Robbie Robertson's got trucks built for tough.
Make your way to Robbie Robertson Ford in Waycross, where the deals are bigger than ever. Looking for a stylish midsize car, a spacious SUV, or a truck that performs at work and play? Robbie Robertson wants your vehicle and is paying top dollar. Now is the time to buy. Fords are cheaper in the swamp.
Mark your calendar, sports fans, for the 6th annual 912 Sports All Sports Awards Show. Join us on Thursday, April the 25th, as 912 Sports will honor the boys and girls players of the year in all sports, from baseball to soccer to tennis, swimming, golf, wrestling, and more. Join us on Facebook Live as we recognize the deserving boys and girls athletes throughout the 912 Sports coverage area. That's the 6th annual 912 Sports All Sports Awards, Thursday, April the 25th.
Hello, everybody. I'm Kevin Price for On Air with 912 Sports. I'm out at Brunswick High School, Bud Couch Field, right behind me, where tonight, on Wednesday night, Glen Academy and Brunswick High met in Game 2 of their City Championship Series. Boy, the couch was jumping tonight. A raucous crowd, tension in the air. Glen with a chance to win the City Championship. Brunswick looking to tie the series and send it to Game 3 on Friday night, and that's exactly what happened. The Pirates draw even in the series at 1 game apiece, winning this ball game 3-2. Glen had the tying run aboard in the 7th inning. We'll get to that in our recap. Glen Academy won the opening game of the City Championship Series Monday night at Adam Wainwright Field, their home field. The Red Terrors won that ball game 3-0. Again, the City Championship this week on the baseball diamond between the Pirates and the Red Terrors. Of course, it was for the city title. We knew that going in. The winner of the series would get that city championship, but also this one had huge region implications here in Region 2 6A, as both the Pirates and the Red Terrors battling for that region championship are certainly one of the top 2 spots, which gets you a home series in the opening round of the state playoffs. So they'll go to Game 3 with all of that hanging in the balance Friday night. But here's the recap of the first 2 games between the Pirates and the Red Terrors. Glen Academy and Brunswick High opened their key Region 2 6A series, which also is always for the city championship, on Monday on Glen's home field at the Adam Wainwright Complex on the south end of Brunswick. The local rivals entered the series tied for second in the region standings, a game behind league leader Evans with 3 region losses each. This week's series is the final region set for the Pirates, while Glenn still has to take on Evans next week in another key region matchup. The Red Terrors won the series opener 3-0 on Monday over the Pirates behind the pitching of their ace, Luke Barch. Barch worked 6 full innings for the Terrors, allowing just 3 hits while working out of a couple of tight spots. Barch, a senior right-hander who will pitch in college next year at Augusta University, also struck out 9 BHS batters. The Pirates also got a solid outing from their senior starter, Roland Chance, who pitched well enough to win, but just didn't get the offensive support. Also a right-hander, he worked 6 innings for Brunswick and allowed the 3 runs on 9 hits while striking out 4 and walking 2. Glenn jumped ahead 2-0 in the bottom of the first. After 2 outs to start the inning, the Terrors strung together 4 straight hits to score their 2 runs. Grayson Gegg got it all started with a single. Trent Tankersley followed with another single, and Slater Vinson brought home the first run for the Red Terrors on an RBI single before Ryan Schooneman drove in the second run with the 4th straight single of the ballgame for Glen Academy. The game's only other run was scored by the Terrors in the 6th when Wesley Robertson brought home Glen's 3rd run on a sacrifice fly, which scored Luke Parrish, who led off the inning with a double. On Wednesday, the Glen Academy Red Terrors had a chance to claim the city crown while the Pirates were looking to even the series up, which they did with their 3-2 triumph at home on Bud Couch Field. The Terrors got the tying run aboard in the 7th with a leadoff single and bunted him to second before the go-ahead run also reached on a walk. But then Brunswick's Jordan Lodice, who went the distance on the mound for the win, got the next 2 batters out with the top of Glen's lineup at the plate. Lodice worked the full 7 for BHS, giving up 4 hits while striking out 3 and walking 3. Both of Glen's runs in the ballgame were unearned. Jeb Carson, Glen's starter, absorbed a tough loss. The left-hander gave up 2 earned runs while fanning 6 and walking 3. With the score tied at 2-2, Elijah Wellman doubled down the first base line to give the Pirates the lead in the bottom of the 5th. His hit drove in Ryan Thomas, who walked with 1 out. Thomas brought home a run earlier in the ballgame with an RBI single for the Pirates. Now the series shifts back to the Wayno for Game 3 on Friday night. 912 Sports will have the call on www.912sports.net as part of its Golden Isles baseball broadcast package here in 2024. Southeast Georgia Health System and Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery are always the presenting sponsors for Golden Isles baseball. This week's City Title Series is being presented by Shoup Surveying Company. For the whole 912 Sports crew that covers high school baseball, this has been Kevin Price for On Air with 912 Sports.
High schoolers, did you know that you can get a head start on your college career and save money at the same time through dual enrollment at Coastal Pines Technical College? Dual enrollment is open to high school juniors and seniors, tuition free. Talk to your high school counselor or visit coastalpines.edu for more information. Coastal Pines Technical College, an equal opportunity institution. Go Coastal.
Gibson Animal Clinic is ready to help with your animals. From cats to dogs to horses, we treat them all. Call on us for grooming, bathing, boarding, and more serious things like surgery, dentistry, spay, neuter, immunizations, heartworm prevention, flea control, complete lab testing, radiology, preventive health care. Call us at 285-7678. Open Saturdays for your convenience. Gibson Animal Clinic. Practical solutions with reasonable fees. Russell J. Gibson, DVM.
Gibson Animal Clinic, 108 Riverside Drive, Across.
Hablamos español en nuestra clínica.
This has been a presentation of 912 Sports.